Good morning, one and all. So last class we are discussing about the retardation test. So corresponding problems. So previously, so first unit is the DC machines. Second one is generator. So third one is the testing of a machines. So in the testing of a machines, we had already know the Swinburne test, brake test, Hopkinson's test, retardation test, and finally separation of a losses in DC machine. So these are the topics is to be discussed in last classes. So now today we are discussing about fourth unit, that is transformer. That is transformer. Transformers. So first of all, what is the need of transformer? So what are the applications of transformer? So in this, so generally generating stations are always away from the populated areas. So these are the generating stations. So that means either thermal power station or nuclear power stations or hydropower plants. So which is always generates either 6.6 kV or 11 kV supply. So generating stations are always generates the 6.6 kV or 11 kV. So which is to be directly step up to the high voltages. So this is the transformer. So 11 kV by 220 kV. So generating stations are always step up into the high voltage. So which is equal to 220 kV. So which is to be directly transmitted through the transmission lines. So these are the transmission line. So which is equal to or which is having some losses. So based on the receiving end is also consists of another substation. So which is also is equal to 220 divided by either 66 kV or 33 kV. 33 kV. So which is again distributed into the different categories. So which is also distributed into different categories. 6.66 kV to 66 or 33 kV to 11 kV or 440 volts. So which is again distributed to the distribution lines. So in this process, each and every stage, so we are considered as a transformer. So what is the need of transformer? So based on the losses or receiving end voltage is also considered as a constant by using of transformers. So generating stations are always generates the 11 kV supply, but load requirement is either 66 kV or 33 kV. This much amount of voltage is to be directly delivered to load with the help of transformer. So that's why. So we are always required for the transformer. So first of all, what are the transformers or which is to be consists of a different parts. So first one is primary winding. Second one is secondary winding. Third one is magnetic core. So the combination of these two or these three components is always forms a transformer. So in this, the transformer is also exhibited as a some functions, So one is the voltage levels must be changed. Second one is so isolation is also existing in a transformer. So that means so there is no losses is to be distributed from primary to secondary or secondary to primary. It should not be provides the losses is not distributing from primary to secondary. So which is called as a isolation property. So third one is so based on the load requirement or whatever the voltage levels is to be required, that much amount of voltage is to be delivered by the transformer. That means one is the voltage levels, second one is isolation, third one is load requirement. So based on these three conditions only, which will be distributed to the loads. Another one is transformer is a AC device. AC device or AC machine. AC machine. So transformers are never operates on DC supply. Never operates on DC supply. So transformers. So which is to be, so the general single line diagram of a transformer is just like this is the magnetic core. So which is to be connected to primary. Second one is, so this is the secondary. So this is the single line diagram of a transformer. So whenever the voltage, so which is to be directly given to the primary of a transformer, so the secondary terminals is always connected to load. Is always connected to load. So in this, so the armature the windings of transformer as well as magnetic core. So magnetic core is always made up of cast iron or silicon steel. So because of, in case of a silicon steel, which is consists of 4% of silicon plus 96% iron. So the mixture of these two combinations only, so we are easily eliminating or we are easily reduces the hysteresis loss in a magnetic core. So based on the reduction of hysteresis loss in a magnetic core, so we are always using silicon steel laminations. Silicon steel is nothing but which is a 4% of silicon, because of silicon cost is very high compared to the iron. So that's why 96% iron and 4% silicon. So this mixture is to be used as a magnetic core in a transformer. So another one is, so which is to be wounded by the two windings. So one is the primary winding, second one is secondary winding. So whenever the winding is to be directly connected to the supply is called as a primary winding. So whenever the winding is to be connected to a supply is called as a primary winding. Whenever the winding is to be connected across the load is called as a secondary winding. So the transformer designing is always depends on the special property. So that is ampere turns of a primary must be is equal to ampere turns of secondary. So primary in the sense we are considered as a 1. So secondary means 2. So the statement of a or property of a transformer is ampere turns of primary must be is equal to ampere turns of secondary. So ampere, that means current I1 into T1. So T1 is the turns. Turns are always directly proportional to voltage. So we are increasing the number of turns. Corresponding voltage is also increases. Number of turns is to be replaced with voltage. V1 is equal to I2 into V2. So for example, the transformer function or which is to be exhibited as a high voltage is to be converted into low voltage. So that means, so primary voltage is always greater than secondary voltage, which is called as a step down transformer. So primary voltage is always more than the secondary voltage is called as a step down transformer. Otherwise, so primary voltage is always less than secondary voltage is called as a step up transformer. So based on the voltage levels, which is to be broadly classified into two types. One is the step up transformer and step down transformer. So which is to be defined by the voltage ratings of primary and secondary. So primary voltage is greater than the secondary voltage, which is called as a step down transformer. Primary voltage is greater than secondary voltage is called as a step up transformer. So in this, generating stations are always generates the 11 kV supply, which is to be comes into the 220 kV with the help of step up transformer. Step up transformer is always used nearer to the generating stations. Generating stations are thermal power plants, hydroelectric power plants, nuclear power plants, wind plants, solar plants. So these are the different types of generating stations. So which is to be step up into the high voltages. So by using of step up transformer, so which is to be distributed through the transmission line, so which is always having some losses. So resistance, inductor, capacitor and conductance. So based on these losses, receiving end voltage is to be reduces. So whenever the voltage is to be started from the generating station, so but receiving end voltage is reduces because of these losses. So that voltage is also stabilized by using transformer, by using step down transformer. So because of 220 kV to 66 kV, so voltage level of a primary to secondary voltage is to be reduces. We are using step down transformer. So in this also we are using step down transformer. So corresponding distribution of transformers is to be directly delivered to loads. So in the similar fashion, so 11 kV is the either industrial or commercial applications, we are always using the 11 kV supply. So but in case of a 3-phase supply is always used for agriculture purpose. We are using 440 volts. Otherwise any domestic applications, fans, lights, so any domestic applications we are using the 230 volts AC supply, which is also provided by the transformers. So that is the need of transformer in a use of human beings. So ampere turns, I1 V1 is equal to I2 into V2. So ampere turns, so that means, for example, so primary voltage is equal to 230 volts multiplied with current is equal to 2 amperes. Let us assume. So primary current is equal to 2 amperes and voltage is equal to 230, which is also is equal to voltage is to be increased to 2 times. So that means 460 volts. So because of we are using step up transformer. So primary voltage 230, secondary is 460, but current should be reduced. So 230 into 2 is equal to 460. 460 into 1 is equal to 460. That property is to be exhibited by the transformer. So which is equal to ampere turns of primary must be is equal. That means 230 into 2 must be is equal to ampere turns of secondary 460 into 2. So voltage and current, so both are differentiated, but product of primary as well as secondary must be same. So based on this principle only transformer is to be operated. So the basic principle of a transformer is electromechanical induction. The principle of transformer is electromagnetic induction. So what is the meaning of electromagnetic induction? So electro means electrical parameters. So magneto means magnetic field. So that magnetic field is always provided by a magnetic core, which is to be acts as a magnetic core is always provides the flux path in between the primary as well as secondary. So electrical parameter is to be passed through the magnetic field, so in the form of induction. So induction means, so there is a separation between the two parts. So just like a induction cookers, induction heaters, so there is no direct contact between the two parts. So but so upper part or any other part is to be directly deviated or transmitted through the energy. So that means electric cooker, so without heat or heat is to be transferred, but there is no direct contact between the vessel as well as cooker, but automatically food is to be boiled. Okay, so that's why. So induction means there is no direct connection between the two parts. So the principle of transformer is electrical connections. So that means either voltage or current is to be changes with the help of magnetic field, so which is always provided by the magnetic core. So there is no direct contact between the primary and secondary. So our objective is So energy is to be transmitted from primary to secondary without direct connection, because of these two are separated by some distance. These two are separated by some distance, but energy is to be transmitted from primary to secondary winding. So that path is to be provided by a magnetic core, which is made up of silicon steel laminations. Why we are using silicon steel laminations? So because of magnetic core is always exhibited as a two types of losses: hysteresis loss and eddy current losses. Eddy current losses is to be eliminated by using laminations, but hysteresis losses is always eliminated by using special type of magnetic material, so which is to be having small amount of hysteresis losses. So special type of magnetic material means silicon steel material, which is to be exhibited as a special type of magnetic material, so such way that losses are very less. So then only we are using silicon steel laminations. So the basic principle is electromagnetic induction. So this is straightforward answer. What is the basic principle of transformer means? Electromagnetic induction. So now, why the transformers are never operates on DC supply? So generally, so the operation of a AC supply is, so whenever the AC supply is to be directly connected to the primary of a transformer, so voltage V1, corresponding current I1 is to be directly given to the primary winding, so which is to be directly passing through in this path. So corresponding the direction of current is always so decided by the right hand thumb rule. So the thumb indicates the upward direction, so that's why current is also flowing in this path. So this is the direction of current or flux. So whenever the voltage is to be given to the primary of a transformer is V is equal to Vm sin omega t. So this much amount of voltage or sinusoidal quantity is to be given to the primary of a transformer, which is to be generates the flux. So which is also is equal to phi is equal to phi m sin omega t minus phi. So why we are writing this type of equation means, so we are discussed in EMF equation of a transformer. So just listen. So phi is equal to phi m sin omega t minus phi. So in this, voltage as well as flux both are sinusoidal quantities. So that means time varying quantities. When you are always giving, so omega t versus magnitude of voltage. So at every instant of time, so the magnitude of voltage is to be completely changed. So then only we are call it as a alternating supply. So this type of waveform or alternating supply is to be given to the primary of a transformer. So that voltage is also cut by the conductors. It induces an EMF, which is called as a EMF induced in a primary winding itself is called as E1. So because of whatever the voltage or flux is to be generated in a primary winding, so that flux itself is to be cut by the primary winding. It induces an EMF. So that is the self-induced EMF, which is to be denoted by E1. So self-induced EMF is always opposes the main cause of producing it, which is equal to V1. So because of whenever the voltage is to be developed in a primary winding, which is always opposes the main cause of producing it. That statement is to be given by Lenz law. So E1 is always opposes the supply voltage. Next, so flux is to be generated in a primary winding, which is to be directly given to the passing through the secondary winding through magnetic core. Because of magnetic flux or flux path is always provided by a magnetic core, so which is to be circulating through in this fashion, so which is always passes through the secondary winding. So alternating flux is also cut by the secondary voltage or secondary winding. It induces an EMF, which is to be denoted by E2, which is to be denoted by E2. So that is the secondary voltage or load voltage. Corresponding current is also delivered to load is equal to I2. Also is equal to I2. So voltage and currents. So this is the general path or general procedure is to be followed in a AC circuit. But in case of a DC supply is to be given to the transformer, but it should not be operates. So this is the general circuit or single line diagram of a transformer. So which is equal to voltage, but in this, so we are considered as a DC supply. So that means when we are always giving constant voltage. So in case of a AC supply, which is to be continuously varies with time, so alternating quantity. But in case of a DC supply means constant voltage, just like a batteries. So which is always gives the 1.5 volts or 12 volts battery or 5 volts battery. So 5 volts means which is always gives the constant voltage. So that is the voltage, constant voltage, which is equal to 5 volts. Let us assume. So time. So at every instant of time, the voltage is always constant. So in this also we are giving the voltage is to be given to the primary of a transformer. So this is not a time varying quantity. So that's why there is no EMF. So previously E1 is to be generated. But in this, there is no voltage is to be developed in primary winding of a transformer. So but designing of a primary winding of a transformer, which is always having small amount of resistance. So that means less than 1 ohm. So there is no voltage is to be developed in a primary winding. So that means self-induced EMF is not existing in primary of a transformer, but resistance is very high, such that more amount of currents is to be drawn from the supply. Because of there is no flux. So if it is possible, whenever the constant voltage is to be given to the primary of a transformer, which is to be generates the flux, that flux is also called as a constant flux. So constant flux is to be circulating through the primary to secondary. So constant flux will not be cut by the secondary winding. It should not be generates any amount of EMF. So that's why there is no voltage and currents is to be existing at secondary of a transformer. Another one is, so which is also not generates the voltage across the primary of a transformer, but designing of a primary is small amount of resistance. So based on the small amount of resistance which is always drawn from the supply is huge amount of current. So that much amount of current is to be drawn from the supply corresponding, which is to be passing through the primary of a transformer, which is automatically damages mechanically, So that's why transformers never operates on DC supply. So that's why transformer is a AC device or AC machine. So this is the very important in either quiz examinations or competitive examinations. Why DC supply is not given to the transformer? So because of DC supply is given to the primary, it should not be generates induced EMF. So which is to be passing through the constant flux in secondary winding. It should not be generates the voltage and currents. So such that resistance of primary is very less. So that's why huge amount of currents is to be drawn from the supply. So those currents is to be damages the primary winding. So we are not connecting the DC supply across the transformer. Okay. So transformer never operates on DC supply. So based on this reason, so voltages are not induced in primary as well as secondary, as well as which is having small amount of resistance, huge amount of current is to be drawn from the supply automatically, which is damages. So next one is, so based on the operations or type of constructions, So which is to be broadly classified into two types. Broadly classified into two types. So one is the core type transformer. Core type transformer. Second one is shell type transformer. Shell type transformer. So based on the type of construction, so these are the based on the voltage levels, which is to be classified into two types. One is the step down transformer, second one is step up transformer. So but based on the type of construction, which is to be classified into two types. So one is the core type transformer, second one is shell type transformer. So small range of voltage levels, we are always using core type transformers. So second one is shell type transformers are always used for high range of machines, just like a more than 11 kV supply. More than 11 kV supply. That means either 6633 or 11 kV or 220 kV. So in these categories of transformers, we are always using shell type transformers. But in case of a distribution transformers, either apartments is up nearer to the apartments, we are placing three-phase transformer. So that is the core type transformer. Otherwise, in rural areas, so we are also placing the transformers. So which is also core type transformers. So these are the rural areas, and another one is nearer to apartments. Another one is shell type. So which is to be distributed transformer. That means either nearer to the generating stations or transmissions or substations. We are always using shell type transformers. Shell type transformers. So first of all, what are the difference between these two? Difference between these two. So small range as well as shell type. So core type transformer is to be consists of a two legs. So these are the two legs and two yokes. But in case of a shell type, we are using like this. Like this. So that means, so these are the legs or limbs. So these are the yokes, which is equal to, which is called as a yoke. Another one is, so these are the yokes or limbs. Okay. So shell type transformer is to be consists of a three limbs and two yokes. But in case of a core type transformer, two limbs and two yokes. So that is the difference. Voltage levels, construction oriented. So another one is, so primary and secondary windings are always placed on the each and every limb. Each and every limb. But in case of a shell type transformer, central limb only carries the windings. Central limb only carries the windings. Either primary or secondary windings is only carries the central limb of the transformer, because of which is always provides the double the flux. Double the flux, because of which is to be passing through the in this path. Another one is in this path. So two directions of flux is to be passing through the center of the limb. So that's why huge amount of flux is to be linked with primary as well as secondary winding. But in case of a core type transformer, each and every limb is always carries the one amount of flux. So that means only magnitude of flux only passing through the primary as well as secondary. So that's why which is always applicable for small range of voltage levels. Small range of voltage levels. So these are the introduction part of a transformers. Introduction part of a transformers. So what is the need of transformer? So generating stations, distribution as well as distribution transformers. So based on the voltage levels is to be changes by using transformers. So which is mainly consists of primary winding, secondary winding and magnetic core. So based on these three parts only, voltage levels is to be changes from one level to another level. Based on the voltage levels, which is to be classified into two types, step down transformer and step up transformer. Vp greater than Vs, step down transformer. Vp is less than Vs, step up transformers. So the basic principle of transformer is electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction. So transformers are never operates on DC supply. So because of primary winding is always drawn from the supply is huge amount of current which is to be damages the primary winding. So then only, so we can't be operates on DC supply. So that's why AC transformer is a AC machine. So in this another advantage is, so next semester we are studying three-phase induction motors, the construction, operation as well as all these things of a transformer must be same as that of three-phase induction motor. So whatever the things, whatever the parts or construction as well as operation of a transformer is always same as that of three-phase induction motor. So that's why listen carefully on next class onwards. So in this, so types of transformers. So another one is the EMF. How much amount of voltage is to be developed in a primary as well as secondary windings. Secondary windings. So how it is to be transferring the voltage ratios by using transformation ratio. Okay. So what are the phasor diagrams of on-load condition and off-load conditions? So what are the testing of a transformers? What are the methods is to be existing? So these are all very interesting topics is to be discussed in next class. Thank you.